Alright, what's up, people? So, back from my break, and picking up where we left off, we were implementing the locks. So we stopped at 525 in game. Alright. So let's, hop in right there. Okay, so, alright. Where were we? Right here. So we're doing click card active. Did we create the lock yet? Let's see, what was the last thing we did? We just Control Z to undo. Oh, that's right. So we're creating a function, which means we would have to go back and add in logic for SS or CS. Okay, yes, we do have to do that. So for the attributes that are handled on client side and are handled on the server side, which are all of the ones that we're dealing with, because that's the one of the requirements for what we're implementing, the locks. So we have to check, we don't have to, but it's smart to check if we're dealing with the change attribute list SS or CS equal to SS, which is server side. Only on server side do we want to deal with the lock. Otherwise, we would just handle it normally without a lock. So we first check as soon as we access the getter if it's equal to SS. Then we use the context manager to handle that lock, and then we would execute that code. Then we have else, which is SSCS is CS. We just execute the code straight up with no lock. And then in the setter, we have the same thing going on, except instead of copying and pasting this code twice, I would rather put this in a function like this. We just call it, we can call it core function. And I suppose, like, I don't think I could just leave it as is. I'm pretty sure I would have to pass in the val arg for it to know what val is. Let me test that real quick. So we go to test reminders, next test segment. So we copy that, move it to the next one. And now we were going to do class, CLS, def, init, self, self._x equals 1. Now we do add property, def x, take self, return self._x. And we have add x.setter. Isn't that what I'm trying to do here? Yeah. Okay, and then we do def x take self val, and then we can do self._x equals val. Okay. Now we want to we'll create this function called func, and then we'll just say val equals, or val here equals val. See if we have access to val. And then we'll just call func and see if this works. Okay, so that does work, but we want to. How does that work exactly? Let's see. How about this? Print val here. Create C equals CLS, and then we'll call C.X. Ah, I know what I'm doing wrong. I'm an idiot. So C.X equals 2. Well, that works actually. I did not think that was gonna work. Just being straight up there, I did not think that was gonna work. So I don't have to define val. We can just like, how about this? Just print val. It does work. So I guess it gets and I don't know, sometimes I don't really understand fully how the variable acquisition works in concerning the local scope of the function. Like, I thought that if you referenced a certain variable, it would look outside of the function first, but I feel like I've done that before, and it threw an unbound local error or whatever. But I'm not gonna do a deep dive into that. I just didn't think I'd be able to do that. Actually, you know, I'm gonna ask ChatGPT, why doesn't this throw an unbound local error or whatever? So let's ask Chippity Chippity. Actually, you know, I want to ask. Go you provided does not throw an unbound local error because the variable val used inside the func function is not being modified, it is simply being referenced. Scope of val. In Python, when you define a variable in a function like the setter for x, that variable is treated as a local variable within that function's scope. However, if you reference a variable that exists in an outer scope, like val in your case, Python allows this. If you reference a variable that exists in an outer scope, like val in your case, Python allows this as long as you are not trying to assign a new value to it. Allows this as long as you are not trying to assign a new value to it. So using val and func. Inside the setter, you define a function func that simply prints the value of val. This is not creating conflict since val not being used for reading, not for writing. But the interpreter does not treat it as an unbound local variable since it can resolve val to the one passed to the setter. When you call cx2, the setter is invoked. Inside the setter, func is defined, and then call, which prints 2. The value passed to the setter. After that, self-x sets the val, which is also 2. Here's what happens step by step. Setter func is defined. That unbound local error is due to how variable scope works in Python. Variable scope. The variable val is accessible in the nested function because it is not being assigned to within that scope. Instead, it is being used as a reference to the value passed into the setter method. Therefore, everything works as expected. So if we were to assign it within that scope, and then if we said val equals 3, that's going to throw an error now? What about if we were to pass self? If we did self dot underscore x equals. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I understand it sort of, but really, I don't completely understand. Like, I have a feeling that if I were to try to do this in this code that I'm working with right now, it would throw an error. I just have this feeling. I could be wrong, but I feel like if I don't create self and val as an arg, as a parameter rather, and pass them in as args, at least val, it wouldn't know what val is. But apparently, as long as we don't... Okay, so since if we were to just check it, that'd be fine. But then when we assign it right here, gotcha. Alright, so we just create val as an arg right here. And then we would just call core function and pass in val. Okay, so let's review this. We have the setter, we define it, passes in self val, then we define core func, which takes in val. We don't need self because it's not referenced in there. Just check. Yeah, it actually is. I'm dumb. So we do need to, well, we don't actually need to pass in self because it's not modified. But like, why not? It's just like courteous, isn't it? You know, it's courteous. Yeah, it's courteous. Let's just do it. Let's be courteous. Pass it in there. So we pass in self val just like we receive, and then and that kind of helps reflect what's going on here, right? So core func takes self val, and then we just run the code that we would always run in the case of calling this function. I mean, in the case of calling this setter, and then after we define that function, we then say if change attribute ss or cs is equal to ss with that lock, we then execute the core function, passing in self and val, and else we would then call same val. So instead of copying this code, all this right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, whatever, 8 or 9 lines, we don't have it twice. We just do it once, and then we call that function in these two places. And I think that's right. Let's just triple check this. Setter, active, change alright. Click card active lock, core function, else, core function. Yeah, we're good. Should be anyway. And I'll just put a little note here. This only need to use lock if the ss cs is single threaded, and that kind of goes without saying. Alright, now we can go back, well, there's yeah, don't forget about the dir check and stuff. Don't forget to triple check these locations after implementing all lock logic. Okay, so we're gonna go back to checking. Let's put this stuff up here because we're actually like doing it first. So we're gonna just go in order, and we're gonna recheck all this stuff again. This is gonna happen after that. So creating all the logs, and then implement game lock. Okay. Active. So that one is done. Mostly check, dir check, and other obscure places where But I mean, an indirect reference always implies a direct reference at us. You know, it has to be explicitly connected to it at some point. Okay, I forgot to set my timer here. So we've probably been going for about 10 minutes. So we got 50 more minutes, 50 minutes. Alright, so let's go back and do multiple cards. So let's add in logic for SS or CS. So what we can do is just choose multiple cards, right? Yeah. What we're gonna do is just copy this line, and now we can change this to choose multiple cards. Do def. There we go. So now we can add in the same exact code. So we're gonna do if change attribute list SS, then we'll use the lock. Else. Okay. So now we're gonna do the same thing here. We're gonna check first. And if so, our else. Now we're gonna copy all this stuff. Do def core func, taking in self and val. And of course it messed up the indentation because that's what it do. That's what it do. Oops. Alright, that's true. Okay, so we took care of that. Let's review. So we have choose multiple cards, SS or CS, SS. We then use the lock, choose multiple cards lock, and then return else. We just return without the lock. And for the setter, we define this core function taken in self and val. We then check see if it's SS. Then we use the lock and call core func with self val. Else we just call the core func straight up without any lock, and that should be correct because it's SS for server side, which is where we want to use the lock. Okay, so now let's go to the next one. Mostly just gonna put the same thing. Alright, so now let's go to enter continue text active. So we'll copy this. Right over here. Def, since we pretty much know most all these are calculated properties. So now we're gonna do stick with lock. Okay. This is going to be with enter continue text active lock. We'll call this with self enter continue text active lock. Okay, so now we're going to go up to 660. We'll just put that right there. 660. And now we're going to go to self. So now we're going to create the lock, which is a threading lock. And now I can just look for underscore lock here. Oops. So it's 339. Alright, purpose to lock the self enter continue text active, so I have to change this. Setter and getter to ensure no race condition issue since the adder is verified race condition prone. True. So we created that lock. Now we can go back to 660. Right. And now we're gonna do I gotta use the bathroom. I'll be right back. Ants in my pants over here, I gotta go. back. Alright, so we created the lock. We created the comment for the lock. Now if we do enter continue text active def, we need to implement the core function here. So we're gonna do def core function taking self val. Let's code into it, and then we're gonna wow Sinatra. Check if change attribute list SS for CS is equal to SS. We use the lock. Enter continue text active lock, and that is the correct one. We will then run the core function, passing in self val, and then else we just run the core function straight up because we don't need the on the client side. So we'll review our indentation. We have core func, which does all the things that the setter does, and then we have on the same level checking for SS, and then we use the lock, which is the proper lock, the enter continue text active lock. We execute core func, passing in the correct args. Then we have else. Else we execute the core function since we're just doing client side. We don't need the lock. Okay, so that looks good to me. I'll put my double stamp of approval on that. I should have did this before. Just to make sure I got the name right. Let's. Yep. Okay. Then we have call to the self val else. That's correct too. Func self val. It's always good to double check, triple check your code, guys. Always double check, triple check your code. Trust me, you'll thank me later. Okay, cool. Alright, so that should complete this one. So now we should have two that are complete, mostly anyway. So well, three. I think that's it. All right. Yeah, we created the lock. We modified the setter and the getter. We didn't put our comment for core func. We can just do Control F. There we go. Now Control Z. Now we'll go right down here. And add that comment for the function. test. We're gonna do a little test to make sure we didn't fudge anything up with these three. So the three that we did were enter continue text active, click card active, and choose multiple cards. I should have done one at a time and tested, but I'm an idiot and I didn't do that. So we're gonna do Control Shift F5 to multiply. We're gonna change the directory of each to go into where the server and client scripts are. We're gonna run the server script and then the client script as well. Okay, so we got an error here. This is 319 in client. That's something we forgot to. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, so we actually can't test it until we create this lock dictionary, and this is actually gonna be, I don't know, should we, well, could we have a lock dictionary that like had all the locks in it, or should we have different lock dicts, you know, like, so here's the deal. If we, let's say we made the lock dict connected to the change attribute list, okay? We import change attribute list in various places throughout the project, almost all of them, like every file, right? So if we did that, then that would be circular importing, because let's say, considering the game file, we're going to import change attribute list to game, but then in game we're going to be importing change attribute list, or rather, I'm sorry, in change attribute list we would be importing game, because we would be importing game attributes. See what I'm saying? So because the locks are game attributes. We could change that to make the locks be independent and created inside of change attribute list to avoid that. And then we would import the locks to the game file and so on and so forth, and use them in that way, and that would be fine. So yeah, it all depends really on like how many more locks we make. If we have to have a bunch more locks that are not associated with game, then we very well may want to do that, but I don't think we actually will need a lot more locks. So I think we'll just leave this as game lock dict, and we'll create it in the context of the game file. So it'll be basically an instance attribute of the game class. So we'll change this to be called self.gameLockDict. And so we go right here. Alright. will then go to the top, go to init, and where should we put this? I guess we'll put it right here. Update purpose, and the purpose of this is to make it easy to access game adder locks via associated attribute name, specifically the adder name string as to, or you say used in texture. Wait, I'm in the wrong fucking file, dude. Hold up. But it's okay, well, I mean, we have to move this to game, but it's okay to define it in game and use it in client, right? Yeah, so we would use it in, we import it from game. Well, we import P1 and P2 game, which is perfectly fine. And then okay, so this would have to be assigned low, because we couldn't assign this until we had already created all the locks. You know what I mean? Like, we would have to put this at the end. I guess, yeah, I'll just put it dead last. Which is So I need the names. So we copy this list. And then we'll paste it in. Fuck, man. Yeah, so we have to be careful with this to make sure we do it correctly. Oh, fuck. Alright. Clickable card list and clicked cards list. Just wanted to triple check that. 27. Alright. With self game log dict, add a name string. So this isn't actually going to be self. This is going to be. So we need to know the is inst. Well, no, we need to know the. How do we reference the game instance object here? We need to reference game instance object. Okay, so the attributes that it handles is right here. So skeleton click card are not included. Did we do have skeleton click card here? How does skeleton click card end up there? See how messy this got, bro. It just got messy, dude. I mean, I'm keeping up with it, but it's just got messy, bro. We have to figure out, should this be skeleton or non-skeleton? Skeleton click card, so skeleton click card. Well, I mean, should. Okay, I'm actually gonna take my break. Take a little hour break. I'll be back in just a second. We gotta figure this shit out. Well, I think I should keep them here. Actually, hold up. So I deleted the skeleton click cards list and skeleton clickable card list, but I really think I should keep that here. Because it's still a game attribute. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna take my break real quick. I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. So I'm gonna do a little bit more and then call it quit for the day. Getting a little bit hungry. So what exactly do we need to do now? Okay, so we have the game lock dictionary. Oh, I see what I need to do. I need to add. Okay. Alright, so should we use the skeleton or non-skeleton namespace for skeleton clickable card list? So let's go over here. None of these handle skeleton, so let's look for skeleton clicked card. Okay. So if outer name string is skeleton clickable card list or outer name string is skeleton clicked cards list. Okay, so that's the namespace. So we're going to be using the skeleton namespace. Yeah. Cool. Okay. So we'll go back over here and skeleton. But what about the clicked card list? Okay, but for skeleton clicked card. Okay, so we do use the outer name string is skeleton, includes skeleton. Yeah, okay, there we go. Cool. Alright, so we got that figured out. What's next? Okay. So we created the game lock dict at appropriate location, ensure that we're referring to skeleton under some proper format. Okay, so we did that. We created the game hero check locks. Mostly. So what we want to do is test now. So we're going to go to line 310 or whatever. Yeah, close enough. Okay. So this is going to be called. Okay, so we need to access to be able to test it. We have to access the. Let me just put this side by side real quick and verify I got all this right. Choose multiple cards, click card active, and continue to game state, input text file, choice active, choice text 1, 2, progression text, selected choice. We don't have rounded winner symbol because it's not used here. Skeleton clickable card list, click card list, skeleton clicked cards list is not in this one, and then text input active. Okay, cool, so that's all right. So here, now we can go to all we have to do is what here? Game instance object. Alright, so how do we access the game instance object? Pretty sure we passed that to turn check. Let's see. Cur game. Alright, so cur game is always passed. Okay, so yeah, so we can use cur game. Did I just do it? So this would be with cur game because we want the game instance object. So cur game.game lock dict. That is what it's called, right? Game lock dict. Yep, that's what it's called. And cur game is going to reference either P1 game or P2 game. So we need to do the same thing right here. So with cur game, game lock dict. Alright, yeah, so this should be good, I think. But these don't exist yet, so it'll probably throw an error. Here's what I can do. I can copy this. And I didn't close out this dictionary. There we go. Okay. Now I can go to the top and go to def init. And then I will just add in the rest of these locks right here. I know a clever way. I see the clever way to do this now. Shit. just created all those locks. That was really easy. Should let me test now. What's going on with this? Why did that happen? Oh yeah, something's not working, bro. Son of a bitch. Oh man. Well, apparently I broke something because it wasn't doing this before. So how did I do this? Son of a bitch. Oh shit. Oh man. Okay. Well, something is broken. It looks like it might be something to do with progression text, which might make sense since we just modified this dir check, which deals with progression text. So, I don't know. I'm guessing it may have something to do with that because this was working fine. So like, here's what we'll do. I just want to verify something. So we're gonna do something. We're gonna we're gonna basically call it quits, but I want to check something real quick. So 414. We're gonna stage changes. So 415. So I'm gonna go over here. Our time 2:30, 17, which was, so we got 1 hour, or no, I'm sorry, 11:11 to 1:23. That's 2 hours and 10 minutes, and then 2:30. I see what I did there. 2:30 to 4:17. That's an hour and 47 minutes. So an hour and or 2 hours and 10 minutes, 12 minutes. Yeah, 2 hours and 12, and then 1 hour and 47 is 3 hours and 59, right? Yeah. 2 and 12, 2 hours 12, and then 1 hour 47. 2 plus 1 is 3, 12 plus 47 is 59. So that's basically 4 hours, right? I think I got that right. 4 hours. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so what we do, we're gonna cd to the root directory. I'm gonna do something. I want to check something. So I want to check to see if it was working, like if it was broken before today. Which I need to make it a habit to test the scripts as soon as I start for the day. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put that in my dev log. Be sure to test, run a quick gameplay test at the beginning and end of every coding session to ensure nothing was broken. Which I'm usually like pretty good about that, about if something like could get broken, testing it. Anyway, we're at the root of the project directory. Let's get branch. We're on secondary, so we're gonna get add dot to add everything. And we're gonna do git commit dash m double quotes, paste in the devlog double quotes. 13 files change, 195 insertions, 87 deletions. Now we'll do git push Canasta secondary, so we're pushing to the cloud. Okay. So that's done. Alright, so here's what I want to do now. I want to close out all this. Now we're going to open up a new folder. We're going to open up the backup, and that's from yesterday. we're gonna open up this folder. Select that folder. Okay. Code provides you to define this class. Okay. So now let's go to open up a terminal here. We're gonna multiply this terminal. And we're gonna do I server message. Okay. CD main. Server. Okay, there we go. CD main by client. Alright. CD main. Alright. We gotta fix this. Let's go to line 318 in client. So main. It's 318. Alright. So let's just. Oh, I don't want autosave. Fuck. Because this is gonna save this. It's okay, I'll just undo my changes. So we'll come this out. And then come like that. Damn, bro. Okay, so it's something. It's something to do with these changes that I made with the locks. Fuck, man. I just didn't think that would, like, I don't understand. What did I do? That. I don't know, man. I'll debug it another time. It's all good. It's gonna be something simple. It's just some simple shit I'm gonna realize. It's no big deal. I'm not gonna trip about it. I just didn't think that. I was kind of confident in the fact that I did everything right. I didn't think I would have broken anything, but apparently something is amiss. I messed up somewhere because it's not working like it was. So anyway, we'll debug that next time. For now, I'm gonna undo these, make sure it's back to how it was before I touched it, and we're gonna open up our actual project. So now what we're gonna do, well, we already pushed and everything. So what we'll do is close this. We'll go to focus on this. Program, good projects, Canasta, copy file, environment, delete that one. Paste in. Go to devlog, make sure it's Tuesday. If it is, so go back out and change this to be 10.3. Alright, yep, so I'll debug it next time. Kind of disappointed. I was hoping that we would have a clean playtest after I modified all that shit with the locks. I did change a good bit of code, but I mean, it's probably something simple I changed, you know, just some little one line, messed up an indentation or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out. But anyway, I'll see you next time. Tomorrow we'll get some more done and finish up these locks so I can move on to bigger and better things. Alright dudes, have a good one.